Do this wrong, and she drifts away quietly. Do it right, and she chases you like nothing else matters, not because you begged, not because you pleaded, but because she can't help herself. That is the subtle power most men completely miss. Many senior men assume attraction is earned by availability, effort, or trying to impress. They lean in too much, they explain too much, they overgive, and every move silently drains desire. Here's a truth most men never see. Women respond to power they cannot control, not to the effort you put in. It's subtle, invisible, and almost impossible to teach with words alone. The moment you try to control her or bend yourself to be liked, attraction slips away, and by the time you notice, respect is gone quietly, without warning. Take a simple example. A man I know spent weeks rearranging his schedule just to see a woman. He texted too often, explained his every move, and tried to impress her with stories from his past. She smiled. She thanked him, but she didn't lean in. By the fourth week, she was distant, and he didn't understand why. The chase had already vanished. Effort killed desire. The opposite works like a magnet. When a man is calm, focused on his life, and not chasing outcomes, women notice. They feel it in his presence. They notice his boundaries. They notice the quiet control in his attention. That's the kind of pull Machiavelli described centuries ago, a force that doesn't demand, but commands. Senior men, this is the line between being desirable and being forgotten. It isn't about showing off, it's about holding your energy, living deliberately, and letting her pursue without force. The tension, the subtle distance, the selective attention, that's what creates the chase that lasts. In this video, we'll break down exactly how to create this dynamic. You'll see the psychology behind desire, you'll understand the triggers that make her chase, and you'll learn step by step how to maintain presence, control, and attraction, even in a world full of distractions. By the end, you'll understand why most men fail, why chasing never works, and how a few simple changes can make her chase you endlessly. If you're new to the Stoic Frame, subscribe now. The most powerful part of this lesson is coming, and it will change the way you think about attraction forever. Senior men. The first truth to understand is simple. Desire is never earned by effort. Women respond to signals, not to chasing. When a man gives too much attention, explains himself too often, or bends to be liked, attraction dies quietly, and by the time he realizes, respect is gone. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, almost invisibly. Let's break this down. Women are wired to notice control, calmness, and purpose. When a man is emotionally reactive, desperate, or over-available, these traits vanish. A woman doesn't just see your effort, she feels it. And when that feeling signals need instead of value, desire collapses. Take this real example. A man in his early 60s wanted to impress a woman he liked. Every day, he sent messages explaining his schedule, checking if she was free, and trying to predict her moods. At first, she smiled and seemed interested, but over 2 weeks, the tone shifted. She stopped initiating conversations. Her replies shortened. He panicked. He increased his effort. She pulled further away. In trying to be desirable, he became predictable. He became ordinary. The chase ended before it truly began. Contrast that with the man who understands presence. He doesn't beg for attention. He keeps his life moving, his routines, his goals, his hobbies. He responds thoughtfully, not frantically. He sets boundaries without announcing them. Over time, women notice the calm, self-contained energy. They lean in. They chase. Not because they are forced, but because the energy feels magnetic. This is the first key principle. Selective attention. It's not ignoring her. It's choosing when and how to give attention in a way that conveys value. When she messages, respond deliberately. When she seeks company, make it meaningful. Let your time and energy carry weight. A senior man who masters this suddenly becomes rare, and rarity fuels desire. The second principle is purpose-driven energy. Desire is attracted to men who live for something beyond her. Whether it's a project, a hobby, or personal mastery, energy that is directed outward signals independence. A senior man with routines, goals, and consistent habits radiates authority. That energy is felt, not seen. It communicates, without words, that he is self-sufficient, disciplined, and intriguing. Emotional control is the third principle. Panic, overreaction, or desperation kills respect instantly. When a woman tests, withdraws, or challenges you, how you respond is more powerful than her words. Calmness is magnetic. Restraint communicates strength. Overreaction communicates weakness. This is where many senior men fail. Those who master it become quietly irresistible. The power lies in responding deliberately, not reflexively. Now, let's talk about behavioral cues. Women give signals that reveal interest, tests, or boundaries. Delayed replies, indirect questions, or tone shifts are subtle probes. Most men overreact. The right response is always to maintain calm and measure engagement. One thoughtful message, a clear boundary, or even a period of silence communicates value more effectively than a dozen desperate texts. Machiavelli explained this centuries ago. Perception is power. Appear controlled, and you command attention. Another key dynamic is strategic scarcity. Make yourself occasionally unavailable in meaningful ways. Not to manipulate, but to reinforce value. Stop the constant texting, limit your availability, and let your life progress independently. Scarcity, paired with value, creates magnetic tension. She begins to chase what she cannot fully command. The pull grows without a single word of pressure. Senior men must also understand status cues, not material wealth, but social and emotional presence. Calmly handling social situations, maintaining dignity, and interacting confidently with others signals competence. Women sense this instinctively. It is subtle, but extremely powerful. A man who carries himself with composed authority naturally draws attention. Mistakes are easy to make. Overpraising too early, over-explaining decisions, seeking validation constantly. All of these signal neediness and kill desire. Desire thrives on challenge, on tension, on measured effort, not on effort alone. Senior men who grasp this principle protect their energy and maintain attraction naturally. Silence is another underestimated tool. A calm pause is not coldness. It is intention, not avoidance, but control. Leaving space in conversation, allowing moments without words, communicates value. Women feel the weight of that presence. It draws them in. It creates curiosity. It sparks pursuit. Consistency over charm is essential. Charm fades. Effort fades. But a steady, purposeful life radiates pull naturally. Senior men who maintain routines, pursue meaningful goals, and uphold personal standards create long-term attraction. The effect compounds over time. Desire grows quietly, steadily, without frantic effort. Finally, the principle of selective engagement. When a woman tests or distances herself, respond selectively. A single thoughtful message, a clear boundary, or measured action communicates more than hours of explanation. This trains subconscious desire. She begins to chase not because you demand it, but because the man she wants is self-contained, purposeful, and rare. All of these principles combine into one effect. A senior man becomes magnetic without chasing. Effort alone is not enough. Attention must be deliberate. Calmness must be maintained. Purpose must radiate. Scarcity must be applied subtly. Silence must communicate value. And consistency must reinforce it all. When these elements align, desire is no longer fleeting. She seeks you naturally. She leans in without force. She chases because you live for yourself first, and that energy is irresistible. Senior men who master this create relationships where attraction is constant, respect is unshakable, and effort is minimal. This is where everything comes together. What you've learned so far isn't theory, it's the framework that separates men who chase and lose from senior men who command attention without effort. Every principle, every tactic builds toward one goal, creating attraction naturally while preserving your dignity and freedom. First, understand this. Women respond to energy, not effort. When attention is given without thought, attraction dies quietly. But when attention is measured, purposeful, and tied to a life full of meaning, desire grows on its own. It doesn't beg, it doesn't demand, it pulls. Consider a senior man who learned this the hard way. He had spent weeks trying to impress a woman, over-explaining, over-texting, bending schedules to meet her. She smiled at first, but slowly withdrew. Then he applied a single principle from this framework. He stopped chasing. He focused on his projects, his morning routine, and one hobby he had neglected for years. Within days, she initiated conversation. Within a week, she was planning time around his availability. Nothing forced, nothing manipulative. His calm, purposeful energy had drawn her in naturally. The first micro-lesson is the 4-8-hour experiment. Identify one interaction where you usually overreact or overgive. Step back, respond thoughtfully or not at all. Focus on your own life. Observe the shift in dynamic. This is not a trick. It's letting natural attraction do the work. Second, selective engagement. Over 1 week, limit your responses to only meaningful interactions. A text, a call, a meeting each is intentional. No over-explaining, no justifying, no chasing. Every time you give attention, it communicates weight. Every time you withhold, it communicates value. She will adjust without knowing why. That's power. Third, purposeful scarcity. Dedicate at least 1 hour every day purely to yourself, a hobby, a project, or personal growth. Don't check messages. Don't obsess over reactions. Be fully present in your own life. When she senses your energy isn't consumed by her, it pulls her in. Scarcity is not manipulation. It is clarity. It communicates that your life is full, your time is valuable, and your focus is unshakable. Fourth, calm under test. When a woman challenges you, distances herself, or tries to provoke an emotional reaction, pause, reflect, respond deliberately. Say less, act with intention, maintain your presence. Every reaction is a signal. Panic signals weakness, calmness signals strength. The senior men who master this command respect effortlessly. Now, here's the tension you need to feel. Fail to apply these lessons, and the dynamic collapses. She notices desperation. She notices overreaction. She loses attraction quietly. Weeks of effort vanish, replaced by disinterest. This is why senior men must internalize these principles fully. Every interaction matters. Every response carries weight. The final micro-lesson is alignment. Your words, actions, and life must reflect the man you are becoming. Desire cannot be begged for. Respect cannot be demanded. When your life is purposeful, calm, and full, attraction follows naturally. Women lean in because you live independently. They respect because you are consistent. They desire Because your energy is magnetic. Apply this over the next 72 hours. Choose one interaction where you normally overextend. Apply selective engagement. Dedicate time to a hobby or project, and respond calmly to one test. Watch how the dynamics shift. This is where practice meets reality, and senior men regain control over attraction, respect, and relationships. Every step, every pause, every deliberate action compounds. Effort alone does nothing. Attention must be strategic. Purpose must radiate. Calmness must dominate. Scarcity must be subtle. Consistency must reinforce everything. When these elements align, attraction becomes effortless. She chases. She leans in. She respects. She desires. And you preserve your dignity, freedom, and life. If you found value in this, subscribe to the Stoic Frame. Every lesson is designed to help senior men reclaim control over relationships, master attraction, and live a life of calm purpose. Implement these principles. Observe the shift. Step into the man who commands respect without chasing, and watch how life opens up naturally. Remember, desire is cultivated, respect is earned silently. Power lies not in chasing, but in living deliberately. Master these lessons, and the chase becomes effortless, natural, and lasting.